Welcome to the World Cheetah Project. It's World Cheetah Boy. We're back for an episode, not just any episode, but another pop-up comic review. Again, I'm not here to take too much time. Just talk about the book in some general senses, talk about it in some more precise, subjective senses, and just go over how the book made me feel, and if the book is valuable enough to keep in your corner or to haul it off somewhere. I don't know. So, but long story short, Kobe the Baby Dragon is here. You can already tell what he feels about the book. Let's get right into it. World Cheetah Boy. Woo! Let me take a sip of the water because this some comic book spiciness right here. It's hot. So we got Nightwing 80, the variant edition. Now, I don't know how you feel about variants, but I don't know how you can hate on this. And it's just indicative. The variant, as opposed to the standard issue, the standard cover, really sets the tone for me on how I receive this book. This variant is so Dick Grayson, it's so Nightwing, and I love it. The colors, the beaming sunlight, him on the top rope, and we'll get to that in a second. You know, him in performance mode, we'll get to that in a second. Nightwing is killing it. These writers are killing it. Taylor, Redondo, and Lucas, they are smashing it right now. Nightwing is off the chain. So when we come to Nightwing, we get an extreme world building. We getting Bloodhaven fleshed out, because I've really never understood what happens in Bloodhaven. But the more we get on this Nightwing, the more we starting to see how the structure of Bloodhaven is as opposed to the structure of Gotham. And that's a really cool thing, because Gotham has always been that central character. Gotham is a character in of its own for Batman. Much unlike how New York City is for Spider-Man. New York City and Spider-Man is kind of a backdrop, whereas Gotham City is its own character. And I think we're really getting to a point to where Bloodhaven is starting to develop to be in his own character as well. There was a few standout layouts in this particular issue, and this is one of them. The layout of Dick Grayson's apartment. I don't know why this really stood out to me. It was the angle. You never really see an angle like that in comic books. It's always kind of third or second person. It's never bird's eye like that, and that's really cool. I hope that they continue to do stuff like this in different angles and maybe give us a bird's eye of Nightwing in Bloodhaven flipping around or whatever, or you know, or just shaking it up with the different angles. Man, I really like the production and direction of this book so far. Well, another thing that really made this book stand out was the Tim Drake feature. The Tim Drake feature really sets this book off, and without it, I'm not really sure if we get the same end product. Nightwing is like, I gotta make a phone call, and you know, there in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, okay, he's about to call the big dog, you know, to help him, to bail him out of this, or to put him on the right path of this, you know. But no, Nightwing is like, no, I'm gonna call my bro, I'm gonna call Oos, and we gonna figure this out. Like, Batman is doing his own thing, I don't need him here, you know. I'm gonna call my bro. You know, I will call Batman if I have to, but it ain't that critical. He gonna get mad, so I mean, just call my bro. You know, and then Tim Drake kind of roasts him a little bit. So that's the thing. The writing, the repartee, the overall general feel. You know how hard it is to make a decent comic book, let alone a good comic book, let alone a great comic book. Everything has to go right. And everything is right in this particular issue. The colors, the paneling, the characterization, the writing, the action. It's in it. It's in it. It's deep. The creative team is deep in its bag. And the big thing about this issue, again, what made it pop was a Tim Drake feature. And check out the anime style insert from Oracle right there. That was love right there. That really showed me that there was some real serious thinking that went into this comic book. So every comic book review, I like to pull out at least one solid panel, maybe two, if we're lucky, that really kind of solidified how I feel about the book completely, just kind of locked and sealed it, and also just kind of, for me, is really theatrical and propelling the character in a certain direction. It's just, this is just big time to me, and I could tell you a few reasons why this is big time. On your left here, you have the moon in the back. You got Nightwing hanging on the I don't even know if they're electrical wires or what, but it's a wire. It's a high wire. First of all, at the very top, nobody even hears him coming, so he smacks homeboy in the head with the skirmish stick, and then it comes back like some Daredevil shit, which is really cool. Always, that's one thing I love about Daredevil, and that's the one thing I love about those particular weapon sets. You know, it's kind of like precision and ricocheting and angles. You know, like that. So I really like that. But anyways, so now we have Dick Grayson, high wire, clad black, looking down on the crime in Bloodhaven, and like, yo, I'm looking down on y'all. I'm high up. This is my city. What the fuck is the deal? I ain't vibing with this shit. What the fuck is the situation? You know, and him and Tim Drake goes to set it off. You know, and then there's the way that the on the right, the way the skirmish sticks work together. He tosses Tim Drake the pipe, and then they just go to work on some Batman sidekick trainee, you know, level 99 type shit. So it's just, I'm in love with this book. Obviously, if you can't tell, I'm really excited about it. But again, to bring it back to the left, you know, it's Nightwing, and Batman always said, and I've forgotten what issue it particularly was. I'll have to get back to you on that. But Batman was like, Dick Grayson was born to perform. He was a born performer, and that's his nature. Being high on top, being on the rope, on the high rope, but then again, he also assumes some of Batman's nature, being Batman's first son or whatever you want to call it, first sidekick, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to, you know, having a real sense of justice and looking down on crime and letting them know that this shit is not gonna fly in Bloodhaven at all. And then if you got Tim Drake backing him up, obviously it's a wrap. So Tim Drake and Dick handle business. They squashed them. Those are easy bodies. But here's the thing that happens at the end of this issue, and that I'm really, really excited about. No spoilers though, but you know, the villains on paper, you know, the role of a villain is to bring out the best in the hero. And I think this creative team is setting this up to be a really big event, a really big trial, a really big test for Nightwing and Bloodhaven. And that's really dope to me. Like, at the end of this book, I felt it. I was like, okay, this is just no fly-by, you know, oh, let's just throw somebody in there for Nightwing to stomp on and move on, or this is not a easy body kind of deal. This is somebody that he's really going to have to dig deep and find what is Nightwing and what is Bloodhaven about, and come out on the other side. That's the thing about heroes, man, and just stories in general, like WWE, like programs with the different wrestlers. Like, are these wrestlers coming out better after this program? Is one wrestler, is the baby face or even the heel, are they stronger? Probably namely the baby face in this instance, for as far as combat is concerned. Is he going to be stronger coming out of this? And the only way for him to be stronger coming out of this is to have a villain that proposes a serious and legitimate threat. And I feel like Heartless is that villain, and I can't wait to see what goes forward and what Nightwing we get out of it. We're gonna get into a little bit more simplistic ways of how I feel about this book going forward in a future episode. But man, I can tell y'all, this is something to really have. This is something that you want to have, not even for spec's sake or, you know, flip sake, but just so you can enjoy a good story and be at the bottom, be at the beginning of what could be one of Nightwing's greatest trials and thus greatest triumphs. So I've been waiting for Nightwing to step up and to step out of the Bat Shadow, and maybe we finally gonna get it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But value is off the chain on this book. Not even just intrinsic value, but the art, the writing, the layouts, all that stuff. We talked about that. Kobe the Baby Dragon is super excited about it. I'm super excited about it, and you should be too. So that's the Royal Cheetah Project. That's the Nightwing 80 review. 2 thumbs up, straight up. We'll see you next time for more of this, more of that, more reviews. We only one comic book away, y'all. The Royal Cheetah Project 100.